Welcome everyone to another midweek episode of Flyover Footy as we're once again between matches. My name is Matt Baker, and on this show we have a litany of player updates to start, a massive follow-up from the scary-looking Josh Yaro situation from last weekend, as well as more comments from Olof Mellberg after training on Wednesday, and a special longer interview with Conrad Wallem, also conducted post-training on Wednesday, that will cover a range of topics, from last weekend's match to Vancouver next week, his thoughts on the evolving attack, his ideal positioning, and plenty more. But let's start by taking a look at some player updates from Wednesday at training. Last week's injury report was extensive, with Edu Leuven, Chris Durkin, Rasmus Alm, Thomas Totland, Jonas Horn, Roman Berkey, Joachim Nilsson, and Jay Reed all out. This week, better news already. No new injuries. That's a plus already. Plus, we saw the return on Wednesday of Thomas Totland and Jonas Horn to full team training. Olof spoke after training on Wednesday regarding Thomas Totland and Jonas Horn, their availability, and what it means to the club to have both of them back. And you'll hear those comments straight from Olof shortly. Roman Berkey, we saw put gloves on for the first time and participate in individual training, though he did not participate fully in team drills. We didn't see him taking shots yet, so it does not appear he's been fully medically cleared. But remember that Olof had said as soon as he's cleared to participate, he is a candidate to play. Rasmus Alm, who's recovering from a hip injury, was seen walking around in sandals observing training, but wasn't on the field. And we did not see Edu Leuven or Chris Durkin at all. More to come from Olof directly on both of these players. A final note on player availability is that Mikael Joyner and Emil Jääskeläinen were at training with the team on Wednesday. Emil Jääskeläinen signed to a City 2 contract. He was our first-round Super Draft pick. He'll need to be signed to a short-term loan to appear on a City roster. And Mikael Joyner is an off-roster homegrown currently, meaning that he will also need a short-term loan, though he has more availability than Emil Jääskeläinen at this point, just based on that designation. Now, before we hear from head coach Olof Mellberg and midfielder winger Conrad Wallem, we do have a follow-up to the Josh Yaro situation from last weekend that I want to address. I had been pretty vocal on social media and on our Fallout show about my critique of the entire situation. Things just didn't seem to add up from what we saw in the injury, the evaluation, his re-entering, and then sudden substitution. But now we do have a lot more clarity on what happened after I was able to talk to the club and Josh Yaro himself to get more detail. As most recall, Yaro cleared a cross with his head in the first half and then seemed to fall or collapse to the ground and appear motionless for a period of time. The City Med staff attended to Yaro on the field, took him off for evaluation, where an independent medical doctor did evaluate him. Yaro passed all evaluations, all protocols on the sidelines, and then re-entered the game. However, in the 3.5 minutes or so that Josh Yaro had re-entered the game, Major League Soccer in New York called in and said that he had to go to the locker room after what they saw, which was additional video that those in the stadium did not see of Yaro lying motionless for a period of time on the ground. At that point, when play was stopped and Yaro was pulled over, which you could tell from that video, Yaro was not happy about, didn't understand, Olof made the choice to sub him out so that he could do just that, go to the locker room. Olof did not know exactly how long it would take, but as you'll hear from Olof in just a little bit, it was a decision where you didn't know how long the player would be out against a team like Columbus, or really any team. You don't want to be down 5 to 10 minutes without a man, but also you didn't know if he'd be able to return based on if they had things that they needed to check out that Olof didn't see or the medical staff didn't see at first. And also, Olof Mellberg will say this in his comments in a little bit. He's very sensitive himself as a former player with his own history of head injuries. Knowing the severity of this, you don't want to take chances with this kind of situation. Now, I did talk to Josh Yaro as well post-training on Wednesday, and he said that he was never unconscious. He was very clear about this. It was a hard cross from a close distance. It hit him at a weird angle, and so he spun and he went down, but he was never unconscious. No doubt it hurt, but again, he said he was never unconscious. And this may explain why you saw a lack of response from the players around him when he went down. There wasn't a lot of concern, a lot of urgency in the mannerisms or the voices of the players. So that could help explain that. Hopefully, all of that detail does help clear things up regarding Josh Yaro's injury, his current availability, and any concerns that we had with the handling of the situation, because it does fill in a lot of the gaps that we had. And also, Josh Yaro returned to training on Tuesday and Wednesday in full, no designations, no concussion diagnoses, nothing of the sort. So rest easy, I think, at this point on Josh Yarrow and on the handling of the club and the independent medical staff on site, doing their job, clearing him entirely, and Yarrow's back to training. That's it for my updates. We'll finish this episode of Flyover Footy by hearing directly from head coach Olof Mellberg, as well as from midfielder and winger Conrad Wallem. Thanks for joining me on this Between Matches episode of Flyover Footy, and stick around for more Flyover Footy later this week. We'll be back for our live stream Thursday night and a new pod out Friday morning previewing City's upcoming match against the Vancouver Whitecaps. Until then, have a great week, City fans. There's been a lot made about carrying players forward from last season, the results of this year, but those players from last season had one of the worst defensive performances in the entire league, 63 goals against over the course of the year. Was there an intentionality behind shoring up the defense as the number one priority this year? And does it make a little bit of sense to you that you were accomplishing that and then working to find an identity in the attack?
Well, I think it's a balance, Our in attack, I think we see similarities to last season again in what I just said. Moments of brilliance from these attacking players, but obviously we would like to see again more consistency and more of those moments. And it's always a balance. Obviously, the defending needs to work, and we need to try to prevent them from scoring. Probably the most difficult moment in soccer is scoring goals. And we didn't really make it that difficult for Columbus in the last game. Our defending was not good, especially for the goals, but on a few other occasions as well, where we too easily let them in behind us, switched off a little bit. So this is something we're looking at now. Our individual defending. It's always a balance with everything. I wouldn't say we put the majority of the effort into defending in pre-season. We tried hard to find our way attacking as well, and I can see that, or I think you can see in the games that again we have those moments when we're really, really good. We just need to have more of them.
Talking about individual defenders, Josh Yarrow last week. Talk us through what you heard as you were informed that he needed to come off, and what was the mindset in making the decision? Do I let him come off and go down a man, or do you make that immediate sub? Was there ever an option to you?
Not really in the moment. I just felt we cannot, and the way the game looked at the moment, I felt we couldn't afford to wait for. I think they needed him for 5 minutes or something in the dressing room, which probably would have meant more than that before he'd be able to come on. So I didn't feel we could afford that at the time, and we could make it a switch there that made sense. Also with Conrad moving over and Kyle switching that position. So in the moment you just need to adapt to the decisions they made. I know there are protocols for that, and it is important we have them. I know myself, I've had quite a few concussions and quite a few bad ones, and I know how hard it is to see that in the moment, because you're knocked out and then you fly up and tell everyone you feel fine, and you start playing and you don't remember anything basically, so which is obviously dangerous. So it's important to have those protocols, I think.
What does that mean? Not just for the depth, but for those two positions. Whether it's left center back, left wing back, or right wing back. What does it mean to have that level of quality back after what you've seen from the team building the attack the past couple of weeks?
Yeah, it means a lot. It's not a position where we have a lot of players. Also with Jay being out, he's also coming back. So we're hoping to see him in training within the next couple of weeks, which will help us as well. But yeah, for sure, it's a position we don't have that many options. So yeah, it'd be really nice to see them back.
Is it a surgical possibility for Chris Durkin? Do they know yet?
No, I don't think so. No, it's medial ligament. I think he will just have to take the time. I don't have the exact date, but he's not going to be able to play within the next couple of weeks.
without getting into the specifics off the field, knowing the sensitive nature of it all, do you have any idea when you would expect to get Edu Leuven back?
No, I don't actually. No.
Conrad Wallem, thanks for joining us on Flyover Footy. Let's go back to last week at first. Columbus, talk to us about how you thought that game went.
No, it was a difficult game. There's a good team. They're very good, organized. You see they have a clear pattern on play. They know each other very well as a team. You can see that they have worked on that style of play for a longer time of period. So it was a hard game. We tried to mix in some new things, a little bit high pressure, and sometimes against the good teams like that you get punished also when it don't works 100% well with our type of pressing as a players and stuff. So yeah, but still I think there's things to take out of the game and bring into next game and improve, and then I think we have a good chance again.
How much of your game plan were you able to stick to with what you expected from Columbus?
It's hard because they move. We knew what they were coming with, but the thing with a team like Columbus, they move around, they switch positions. You have a lot of players who are very comfortable on the ball, moving around. Number 10 coming down, dropping, getting the ball, even outside. So it's hard to know exactly what to expect because they are very free roaming. And then you see the times we punish them, we make very, very big chances also to get the goals ourselves. So that's like the opposite part of it with that type of playing style. You see we can punish them when they miss the free playing from the back, like with the Simon chance, and some balls in behind when they're not ready because they're a little bit out of position but because of the way they play. So then we can punish them, and if we show good quality there in the finishing part of it, we also can get points in this game.
You seem to be one of the more versatile players this year in what Olof is doing in game. 2 games in a row, you've been moving right to left in the middle of a game. What's that like, and does that mess with your pre-game planning?
It doesn't mess with my because I know what to expect in the different roles, and now in both games it has been injuries, or with Josh it was the head injury, or not even injury, but he had to go out.
Had to be taken out.
Yeah, so that's okay for me in the games, and it's not a big turnaround. It's still same things that is expected out of the positions. So it's okay for sure.
Especially the last few games, you've kind of embodied the formation changes that have happened in this game. 3 in the back, went to 4 in the back later on. Describe what your instructions are as a wingback versus as an attacking midfielder.
As an attacking midfielder, I have more opportunities to get into the final third. That suits me also. And as a wingback also, when we have the play in their half, it also suits me a lot if I can fill the box from deep. But also as an attacking midfielder, is more often I can fill the box in the final third, and it's similar style, but still it's a little bit different. You're not all the way behind like a wingback, but as an attacking midfielder, you can make the runs in behind. You can do more centrally than on the side. So I like both.
How do you think the attack has evolved or grown these past few games? 4 losses in a row, but are you seeing some positive movement in the attack?
Yeah, for sure. I think both Kansas and this game, you can see we are a team that struggles because we have not been winning, and you can probably see that on us sometimes in situations. But I feel like in the attacking part of it, we have also created a lot more big chances than we did in the before. So I think, like for example, Kansas, we have a lot 300-400% chances, and the same in this game. So it's all about getting some flow, getting some goals in, and winning a game maybe, and putting our chances away, and then probably we can get a streak going, hopefully. And but the thing for us, we don't try to look at the past because we are a new team with a new coach, so we need to get our style in, and then the results will come. As like athletes, professional athletes, we deal with this. Every team deal with this type of periods during a year probably. So we just have to. It's the way you deal with it. You have to look at it. Look at ourselves and what we can improve and how we can take it into the next few games. Because it's no point of dwelling about the past games and past missed opportunities. Because now we have a new game against Vancouver, and we are ready for it. We had a good training session today, so hopefully we'll give the fans back something this weekend.
As you go forward, one of the things Olof has said to the media in recent weeks is the intended style, what he wants to do on the field is kind of dictated by the quality of the players. What's the messaging to the players on needing more quality? Is it the absence of quality, or do you just need to be better with what you have because you have that, you can be better in the quality?
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter what words are used, but we all know from the games that if we have in situations what you call better quality, we also solve it sometimes better in front of goal, playing out from the back, things like this. And I think as a team, if you get some good positive moments, you also will feel the confidence more throughout the team, because now we are lacking that in somehow. There's no point of hiding from that, but we feel like we are on the right way for sure. We are creating more chances, and we just have to work hard week by week, because the season is so long and we have a long season ahead of us. So we just need to find our pattern of style and find the confidence within the team, and then I think it can be very well good. As I've said every time I've spoken to you guys, I really have belief in this team, because we have a lot of good quality players and a good quality team. So we just need to get the right things clicking to get it shown also to the fans and stuff like that. Yeah.
This may be one of the toughest 2-game stretches all season, going from the top team in the East to the top team in the West. What do you look forward to doing in Vancouver? And you mentioned a good day of training, good week so far in training. What are some specifics you want to improve upon that you've seen that you can carry into Vancouver? Yeah,
it's for sure the high pressing we need to improve on as a unit, and don't get played through that easily, and getting that defensively solidity that we had in the start of the season back also, because we have to have the first thing I talked about in the first press conference I had was having the balance, because then we were very defensively solid. But now for example, this last game, we lacked a little bit of that defensively solidity, and we need to find the right balance of it, because it's easy to sit from the outside and say, why don't we play like them, play high all the time, but we also need to look at ourselves and find the right balance in what our team has and what we can show on the field. Because if we just go out and let everyone do what they want, press high, everything, we will not look like a team. So we need to find the right balance, and I think we are on the right path to doing that.
You think you're almost on track to get your first goal as a City player?
Yeah, hopefully. It was in Kansas, it was frustrating, but I'm not stressing about that. The first goal will come, so I'm not stressing about that. I'll just look at our performance as a team, and for me individually also fitting into that, and joining into the box hopefully more as well, to get these chances that I'm comfortable with and putting away. Hopefully if I get more of these chances, it will for sure come goals.
What's your dominant foot?
Is right.
Yeah. Do you have a preferred position on the field, knowing that I don't want to get into the conversation of like where you'd rather be, but you'll play wherever you need to.
But it depends on the style of play. That's what I tell people, because in my last club we played with very, very high wingbacks, almost as wingers, and put it like joining the box every time. So then that suited me also very well. And then maybe somehow here now it can suit me very well as a wingback, with both also more up in the field, because that's how the games have looked now. So it's easier to join the box and get the runs in behind when you're starting a little bit higher in the starting positions also. But we have had injuries, we've had some problems there. So like I tell everyone, like where I am is, for me, doesn't matter where I play. I do what the team needs of me, and I will also always put the team first, and hopefully provide some goals and assists also.
All right, Conrad Wallem, thanks for joining us on Fly for Footy.
No worries.
Appreciate it.